Not yet.
Somebody just asked on Twitter. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if I saw that.
No. Okay. Excellent. I think we're ready to begin. I'm ready. You guys ready? All right. Next one up. This is a fun one, as opposed to the other ones. We're doing a panel this year about the holiday episodes. This is something new we tried last year, which really worked out well for us. We're very excited about them, and we did a new batch. I think you guys got DVDs in your bag. You saw them, and you saw some real innovation, some really amazing stuff these guys did, particularly Eureka with their animated episodes. So I wanted to bring them up here, and then we've got some clips from each of them that we wanted to show you. But let's bring up our cast. Oh, wait, I have some news, too. I really do actually have news. Hold on. Ready?
Wow!
That's my news. They are going to be airing Tuesday, December 6th from 8 to 11. So right after, it's going to be our countdown to Christmas week. We have Neverland on Sunday and Monday, and then our holiday episodes in a row. Eureka, then Warehouse 13, and then Haven. Okay, so let's bring up our cast now. So please welcome Colin Ferguson, Emily Rose, and Eddie McClintock.
Oh, I can't run.
Morning.
Hello.
Woo-hoo.
Take 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 2 bottles.
Mark.
That's
Take
right.
3 bottles.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good.
All right, so
Hi,
let's...
guys.
Where are we going? Just going to hold them like this?
I don't know,
Yeah.
just... You never have enough water.
You want 2 more?
All
They
right.
always said I had a drink.
You know what? Here,
problem.
I'll carry them for
thank
you.
you.
I'll carry all of
Good
them.
guys, good guys.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do it.
Morning.
Good morning.
Let's watch some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Watch some clips.
Did you guys do a Christmas episode?
Yeah, we did.
Wherever the man is, can we just use some penguin ta-ta? Or perhaps some spicy penguin rolls?
Taggart, you're a bear.
I know. Isn't it right? Look, I was up here studying hunting patterns and poof.
You're okay with this?
Well, it hasn't always been one of the nights.
I'm good. You got a little penguin over there.
This one? Yeah. Milk ball? Cookie ball.
You're good.
Listen, we're sort of lost. We're trying to get to the great kids with your dad.
Am I telling you why everybody seems to think that it's Christmas Eve?
Would you like to come sit on my lap?
Very funny, guys. Not gonna forget this, neither will you. Wow.
Auntie, you trying to beat up Santa?
This is a pretty elaborate joke. You guys decorated half the town. What about that guy whose neck we almost broke? Was that Syfy? That's funny.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're in on all this, aren't you? What'd you do? Cash in half of your parking tickets?
You know, Nathan told me you were struggling with the holidays, and it was my idea to bring in Santa Cruz.
Wait, you think that it's Christmas too? It's July.
Yeah. So?
I'm intrigued. I'm in. What happens? What happens?
I know, right? So some very, obviously some very different episodes there. I got to say, Colin. So what was that like to do an animated episode like that?
We did most of it in a day. It was amazing. It's great. We put on the mics in Cafe Diem, and we all sat down for 3 or 4 hours and just sort of barked out all the dialogue. It was great. I mean, it was such a weird concept to do something with multiple animation styles in it. I didn't think it was going to work. I never think anything's going to work, right? I'm like constantly pessimist. But having said, like, the Rankin and Bass stuff there is so great. Like, it brings. Did you guys like that? That style? Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great. And there's an anime style that comes in, and we do Looney Tunes and Simpsons and South Park, and there's all sorts of styles all the way through it. It's really fun. So much work for everyone else. But
Your
it was.
lips look really luxurious there.
Didn't they? Yeah.
Hi. A Shanae thing going on.
And you had some guest star voices as well.
Oh, that's right. We had Jim Parsons came in. We had Eddie Olmos came in. We had who else came in? Taggart obviously came in. Brewer. Anyone else in that one?
Did you get to work with them? Like, were you listen
No,
all?
Eddie did his, I think, out of New York or L.A., and Parsons did him out of New York, and then Chris Parnell he did his out of L.A. and then came for a day on set.
Yeah.
So we did have some stuff. We were shooting this one scene. It was 4 a.m. in Chilliwack. We had no time to shoot it because we had a hard out on the street, and they had, I think, 7 giant crates of ice that they were breaking down because we were bringing like a dog sled through the street of the town in July. So that felt Christmassy and weird because we had the cast and the crew and everybody breaking down the ice with like axes, and because we had no time, everyone had to sort of chip in to get it done. So that was really entertaining. And the town really liked seeing that. The town of Chilliwack is like, what do you people do for a living? As we're breaking down ice, so that we could bring
Chilliwack
it.
is where you shoot the Eureka Street.
Yeah. So we could, so that we could shoot a dog sled scene in July, as you do.
It's great.
Yeah.
And Eddie, so obviously this year it looks like Warehouse is doing a little bit of a It's a Wonderful Life. Did you
Yeah,
did you channel your like inner Jimmy Stewart for that, or how did that work?
I was almost just now going to do a Jimmy Stewart, but it's not good enough to do in front of all you knowledgeable people. So, although I liked last year's episode, it seemed a little fluffier than this year's. Certainly, this year's episode is it's an actual Warehouse 13 episode. It's got all the it's got a lot of great twists and turns, and Pete, when he falls in the Isle of Noel there, an artifact, he comes into contact with an artifact that makes him so that he had never been born. What would have happened to the warehouse had he never been born? And there's some really great stuff. Jack Kenny, our exec producer, he directed the episode. And he came to me like 2 weeks before, and he just said, look, I'm directing this episode. You're in every scene. There's a lot of time. Because most of the time, I just get in there and act like an idiot, and then I get to walk. I'm done, but this time I actually had to act and do some like pages of dialogue. So he said, "Be prepared," and I was really pleased with the way it turned out. We got to see it a couple weeks ago at Jack's house, and I think you guys are going to like it.
And Emily, so this was the first holiday. First of all, thank you for being here. Emily flew in from Mideast. She's flew in from the country of Jordan.
From Jordan,
it's
yeah.
probably like God only knows what time it is for you right
Yeah,
now.
I have no clue.
But what was that like? Was it good to kind of do a completely different episode that kind of stepped out of the flow? Was it weird to shoot a Christmas episode in July? And obviously they made it work in the storyline, but.
Yeah, we were all laughing. We were saying we should have shot our Christmas episode first because we film up in Nova Scotia and it's freezing. It feels like Christmas half the time we're there anyway. But we actually did this as our last episode. It takes place sort of out of sequence, even though it's going to be obviously after the finale has aired. It takes place somewhere, I think, in between 6 and 7 or 7 or 8, somewhere in between there. But Chester was the same way. Chester, Nova Scotia was big. I mean, we had the entire town decorated in Christmas decorations, which really aided the fact that Audrey is, what on earth is going on? It just looks so out of place. And, but, Chester just enjoys anything that we do there, and they were really supportive, and it was really fun to actually see what that town would look like all decorated. And it was a good first for Haven to have this sort of, warm, fuzzy, wonderful, little Christmas episode. It was really nice.
Yeah, and Sean Pillar directed that, right?
Sean Pillar actually directed. He's our one of our executive producers. And then just a really cool story is it's written by Brian Milliken. And Brian Milliken actually started as an intern in our producer's office out of college. And he's been a writer's assistant for a really long time. And they handed over this episode to him and said, "Here, go ahead and write your first episode." And so he came up, and it was like Christmas for him getting to watch it, all be made. And he did a fantastic job. And so that was his first kind of step into the writing world. And it's been really neat to see how it turned out.
That's great. Yeah, it's been great to see Haven just in its second season kind of take its ownership of what it is as a series.
Yeah.
Yeah. That finale was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It was great. It was great. I watched it with her and Eric and Lucas.
It was good to have you there.
It was great. Yeah, we didn't get an invite to the Warehouse 13, which was weird. Did you get invited to the? Because I didn't get. No, it didn't.
Well, they asked if I wanted you to come, and I said no.
No, I said, well, that's probably a good call. I get it.
Because I have to be the biggest one in the room.
I could have catered. I would have brought. I could have worked.
He catered at ours.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw him by the food table a lot. Actually.
I wasn't. Yeah, no.
You were there.
I was eating
frequently.
Yeah, true.
What a perfect cue to open it up to questions from the audience.
I took half that food, by the way.
I'm glad you did.
I
It was
did.
good.
I spilled it all over my trunk.
Good morning.
Morning.
Question for Colin and for Eddie. Considering the season finales of both of your shows, where do the Christmas episodes fit in the continuity?
They're sort of free-floating episodes so that they can air, year after year after year. I guess it's where does it fit in the continuity? Happy Day in Eureka is what I would say. It's not supposed to be anywhere specific, much like Emily's answer, I think.
Yeah, same with ours. They're just standalone episodes that have nothing to do with any of the other episodes. Like last year, our Christmas episode ran after Micah had left the warehouse, and everybody was like, "Hey, Micah's back, Micah's back." But it was, again, like it is this year. They're just in and of themselves, their own story.
Yeah, mid-season 4 is what I would say, because there's certain things that obviously in our Christmas episode you have Jenna and Kevin, so it's mid-season 4 somewhere.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We go, guys.
This is for Colin. Given the final season of Eureka is coming up, what could you tell us might be the real moment we should be looking for during the season, from your perspective, that everybody should really, or everybody will really grasp onto?
Wow, I don't think it was built towards one specific moment, but obviously the end where we say goodbye was very poignant for us. We had the benefit of knowing that it was coming while we were shooting, so that's a huge gift to sort of be able to soak up those last 3 weeks with each other and put some heart into this final episode. And the end was I'm not terribly emotional about stuff like that, but it was wonderfully moving. You know, saying goodbye, like shooting your last scene with someone who you've been working with for 7 years. You know, and in some of the plot lines they're leaving, so you're actually saying goodbye, and you actually are saying goodbye because you're not shooting another scene with them. So that stuff is really strangely, it gets you in between takes. So for us, that was a moment. We probably did it terribly, so there's probably other moments you're going to want to latch on to. But there's some really funny stuff, which we did an episode where we become one another, and that turned out fantastically. So look forward to that. And there's a lot of, if we'd like to be remembered for anything, it's for being fun. So definitely the moments where you're laughing, remember those. Oh, how awkward.
This question's for Emily. How do you feel now that Audrey and Nathan are finally getting together? Because you were talking about that before it happened.
Are they getting together? That's such a good question.
They're just hooking up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
Everyone has
relieving
names.
some stress in the workplace. It's just always fun. Their relationship is, an interesting partnership that exists, in this strange little world, and it'll be interesting to see if we get a chance, to see where that goes. It's always fun. I think the best part for me is just seeing the fans react. It's like we hold out for so long, and then when it happens, it's such a huge deal, It's, I think, one of my favorite scenes from the season. I think it actually was in the finale, which was after the kiss and everything, is we're literally working together in really close proximity, and it's just really awkward being that close to each other. And just, for me, what that provides us, the subtext that can be going on when we're saying all these other factual things, the fact that can be, the underlying current, to me, it's just always fun to play as an actor. So I enjoy it because it gives us a lot to do, but I don't really know what, the future holds for them if they get one, because to me, the play is that tension of on again, off again, what that creates. So it's a lot of fun.
Right, thanks.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Morning.
Good.
What is it like when you do the Christmas episodes compared to doing the regular episodes? Is the tone different, like on set? Is the feel different, or do you treat it just like another episode?
It's hot.
It's very hot.
It's always in July. You always shoot in the middle of July, and you're wearing parkas and hats.
Yeah, Eric had to wear that whole Santa outfit the whole time.
Well, you see it in the clip. He's like,
He's totally sweating.
yeah, we were working hard to trick you.
It's called acting.
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
No, it's nice. For us, it's really nice to shoot. It's by the end of the episode, you sort of feel festive, and everybody's some good mood comes out. It's odd that it does, but it's a good thing. Yours was dark, so or darker, you were saying.
Yeah, and the last 2 years, it's been our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that when we're done, I get to fly home from Toronto and see my family that I haven't gotten to really spend much time with for the last 5-6 months. So it's great, and I think that some of the holiday spirit just rubs off because with all the, the fake snow and the holiday cheer. No, it's good.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think it was weird for us this year because we hadn't done a Christmas episode last year, so when we ended on our finale, we sort of had these sort of, very sentimental feelings towards the season, and it was weird for us shooting the finale as being the second to the last episode, that the Christmas episode is this standalone thing. But it really was, I remember knowing we were shooting a Christmas episode for a long time, but then walking on set and watching all the Christmas decorations come up, and, everybody was coming to work in Santa hats, and, it makes for a really fun last day because everything's just like all lit up, and it's a lot of fun. But it's definitely weird to be in that headspace in August.
Yeah, and it's fun when you do shoot in a small town, like we shoot in Chilliwack, you guys do it in Chester, and the people of that town come out to see what like a professional set deck team can do to their street, and it's like it's amazing what they do. Like they'll turn the thing. It's amazing what professionals can do.
Yeah.
So that's fun to see them sort of go, wow, this is our street. Can we take pictures here? It's like, yes, you could.
Well, and by the way, there's a lot actually that happens on that street in Chilliwack. That whole area that in front of the sheriff's office, which is not really a sheriff's office, and the statue in the green, and
Yeah, they build that out in the street that we shoot on. There isn't actually any green out front of the. They do it for the show. They put that whole green section, and the town loves it. The town is sort of lobbying to like, can we put in some green here, like the professional set deck people say? We'll lose these parking spots because it's so pretty.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay. This one comes from the Twitterverse. It is a Haven question. Is Edge staying on the cast of Haven or just popping in here and there?
You know, I don't know. He's fantastic, isn't he? He was such a great addition this season. You know, when I heard we were getting a wrestler on the show, I envisioned something completely different. I thought we'd have somebody bounding out of the trailer in spandex and the shaved head and, you know, stocky and sort of ripped. And then I met Adam and I was like, you look like a surfer. You're amazing. Another good-looking guy on our show. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You know, yeah. And then on top of that, he just did an amazing job in all of his scene work and was just such everyone just really resonates with him and really gets him. And so I hope that if we get a chance to come back, that he will come back as well, because we really, really enjoy having him. And I know that he really enjoyed his time with us, too. And Chester, oh my goodness, look out. There's a lot of fans in Chester that love him as well. So we'll have to maybe hide him if he comes back.
Well, you guys were watching the clips before. I was watching you guys watching the clips, and you all had an amused look on your face. I'm just curious, what was going through your mind watching them? As another question, well, why not? Overall, I'm just wondering, what is it about your individual shows that sort of is your passion for it? I mean, what drives your passion for the shows?
I was thinking that my hair looked a little high. I have hair issues. I was on Bones a few years ago, and I was like, you know, let's shave my head. Let's shave it. We'll shave the head. And they're like, no, because we don't want you to look like David Boreanaz. Everybody already thinks I'm David Boreanaz anyhow. So they gave me this, like, I just said to the hairdresser, I go, you know what, just do whatever you think is going to be good. And they gave me like this floppy Dorothy Hamill side part with the weight in the back. And
I love that this is what's going through your head.
That's a very deep thought.
So detailed.
So,
You and
so
Reese
then I
Evans,
mean,
you should
I
really
just
talk to
think
Reese
I'm
Evans,
so
because you and
caught
Reese
up.
Evans are almost exact same type of interview.
I have a post-traumatic hair disorder. So, but then I was thinking about Colin's luxurious lips and you know, your guys' great scene in a prison.
Well, that's the weird thing. Like, these are my friends, and,
Yeah, it's
and I
weird
see them
just
all the
watching
time, and it's really nice to watch. Like, when I see their work, it sounds stupid, but I'm really proud of them, and like, it's like, oh, they're doing good work, and oh, that's a nice turn, and like, so it's really fun to sort of see, you know, you're up on stage with your friends, and you're like, oh, good job. you know, like, it's nice, it's warm. So.
You know, interestingly, when Warehouse was first, I think we had done the pilot, and I guess we had been picked up, and we were getting ready to do some shows, and we were in New York, and I'd met you before this, but we were welcomed into the Warehouse 13 family by the cast of Eureka, and they were like, oh, you know, we're just like a big family here. And then last year,
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
2 years
Yeah.
ago, I saw you and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, welcome. It's true. It
was such a breath of fresh air. I was so nervous. It was going to upfronts, and it was before we'd even started filming. So everybody's kind of like aware of you, but not really sure why you're there. But sort of, and I came into this, you know, network and into this room, kind of just not knowing what to expect. And Eddie walked right up to me and welcomed me to the family. And so meeting Colin did the same thing, and just to, I don't know, it was so wonderful. So to be sitting here with them now is a huge honor. And then, of course, what's going through my mind is going, oh my gosh, they're watching my work. I'm sitting here while they're watching my work. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, that's what, you know, what actors
You look great,
think.
by the way. I like that haircut.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. There's a little, I had to actually.
Eddie looked a little weird with his
Yeah.
hair. You look great.
I actually
I
had
look
this.
like Danny from Greece. What?
Deep thoughts.
Yes, yes.
With Eddie McClintock.
6 years of college for me.
I actually have a sock in my hair in that scene, if that's a little interesting hair fact.
Interestingly enough, I had a sock in my... What?
Anyway.
And that's what we're thinking.
It's dark in there. Any other questions?
Okay, my question for you is, now that you've done all the holiday specials together, do you have some holiday traditions now that you do on the set? Sorry, as I stutter. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Traditions that have come up from shooting the holiday episodes. We've only done 2, so I don't think there'll be another tradition to follow.
Maybe I'll get together and just shoot another Christmas episode.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to do a pantomime in my garage.
Well, I mean, on Warehouse 13, we have a band room. And there's drums and a couple guitars and, you know, like a shaky egg, one of the shaky eggs. And so everybody goes up there and hangs out and has holiday cheer up there. So I guess it would be the closest thing that we have to a tradition like that, yeah.
Also, just to get back to the last question, one of the reasons, one of the things I get amused about is also like things like seeing Eric sweat. You know, because we all sort of know the tricks of shooting at different times of the year, so we know it's July, and it's like, ah, ha, ha, ha. You know, so that stuff makes me laugh, you know, and the fake snow is like, oh, yeah, you gotta go, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think
wearing a sweater.
We actually did the reverse. Season 1 of Warehouse 13, it was the Resonance, we actually shot out of order. So we shot Resonance first, and Micah and Pete were supposed to be in Colorado in kind of a semi-balmy, snow-covered, beautiful town in Colorado, and we were in like this insane. I mean, the crew had those parkas on where all you can see is like this, and with the fur, the Arctic parkas, and Joanne and I were dressed in like, you know, a light blazer and stuff, and literally you'd be like this, and they go, and action, and then you'd stop, and as soon as they yell, cut, you're
that's me every day at work, though, is the thing.
It's just
every day of my life
yeah,
up there.
Yeah.
Do they do the ice cube thing? The like sucking the ice cube until they yell action, so your breath doesn't have the smoke?
No.
That's awful.
We did know.
You're in a t-shirt in sub-zero weather with an ice cube in your mouth. Like that actually.
Thanks, rub it in.
Action. Yeah.
The joys of production in Canada.
That's right.
Yeah. Any other? Here.
Wow. Blah 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 blah.
Since the specials have shades of inspiration from other movies and specials and everything, what are your personal most favorite holiday movies, TV specials, and then the ones that you hate and why?
Well, I was thinking when I was getting ready this morning for this, I was trying to think of, all the other Christmas episodes kind of in history that have been out there and, have gone on. And I just laughed because the ones that I really remember are like the Muppet Christmas specials from when I was a little kid. I just remember being so excited and going into the living room and, because that's what the great thing is about Christmas episodes. It's kind of this, when you don't have a large, plus 20 order of television, when you have these now 13 episodes, it's really kind of great to have a Christmas gift that you give the fans the middle of the year when you're not around. You get attached to these people and attached to these characters, so to be able to have them come over for the holidays is a lot of fun. And I just remember that. I just remember going around the Christmas. It's part of that, Christmas traditions. Those Christmas traditions is watching, like, the Charlie Brown Christmas Story and, Rudolph, and having all these things come on air. So to have our characters be a part of that story and a part of the experience for the family, to me, is really awesome.
I think it's a Wonderful Life and The Grinch are probably one from me, and one from Canada that nobody knows or watches, but it's The Sweater. If you've ever seen it, from the National Film Board of Canada, the Roche Carrier story about this kid who gets a hockey sweater from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's a Canadiens fan, and the end of it is this horrible ending where he goes to church and begs God to make moths eat it. The end. It's really weird.
Gosh, how heartwarming.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to Canada. So that's one that my brother and I, we always used to like, yeah. We love it.
Sweater.
Yeah, and it's 15 minutes long. And Rochefort, I think he actually narrates it, so it's this really thick French-Canadian accent the whole time. When I was a small boy growing up in Quebec. You got to watch it. It's 15 minutes long. Best 15 minutes of your life.
For me, it's because I grew up and I used to have to get up and actually turn the channel on the TV. So the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the abominable snowman. When they put the mud on Rudolph's nose, and then he talked like this until the mud came off, and they all made fun of him. And I guess I related somehow. I used to put mud on my nose. This is before DVDs and any of that, so you actually had to wait a full year to ever see any of these shows again. Like my boys now, they have the DVDs and they watch Christmas shows all year round. So I don't know. It seemed those shows, I guess, they mean more to me, because I had to wait so long to get to see him again.
Was there another? Was Father Tom? Was that a different Rankin and Bass one, or was the Rudolph one the only?
There was
Here
Comes Santa. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Frosty the Snowman.
Which was the one with Father Time, where it got scary in the middle? Do you remember?
Well, there was the one with the heat miser and then the snow miser. Yeah. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun.
What's it go?
I'm Mr. Green Christmas. I'm Mr. 101.
Island Misfit Toys.
I want to be a dentist.
Oh my God.
The sweater one.
A very Barney Christmas. A very Barney Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah. Always creeped me out.
I don't really have one.
No, I'm blanking. You guys, what do you hate? Anyone have one that they hated?
A Jersey Shore Christmas.
Hey, yo!
I love them.
Okay.
Oh, really?
It's a love and hate.
Yeah, you got to see the sweater.
I think that's it. So, one last question that we must ask.
For Eddie, fans are just devastated about what happened to Jinx. Very cruel. And I was wondering what the cast reaction was.
Man, I can tell you. It was an emotional day when we shot that. Because Alison Scagliotti is so just her presence is such for a young kid. She's so amazing. So for me, when Pete comes down those stairs and sees the reaction on Claudia's face, and when she kind of intuitively knows what happened, just talking about it, I don't know. It's one of those moments as an actor for me where I go, that's as real or as close to showing people a true base emotion as I'm going to get, and so it was really powerful. To watch it for me was because I think Aaron did such a great job making Jinx a likable character that it was hard to see him that way when we walk in and see him eyes open like that. It was tough. It was very quiet that day on the set, and as the saying goes, you're never dead in sci-fi, really. So who knows who knows what'll happen, whether he'll be back or not. I don't ask because I like to discover. As we go along, but I sure hope that I sure hope he comes back.
Okay, so these guys are going to be down here for a few minutes to chat with you. We're also going to then break for lunch, which is going to be at Jake's American Restaurant Bar. So we'll see you there. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
thank you
very much.
Thank you, guys.